Hello, Nick here. And I had a request from one of my viewers, one of my friends, I consider him a friend, Matt, who was curious when I was going to put up another radio video. So, Matt, this is for you. And by the way, if you see any other radios around here that you want to see a test on, or any other ones from any of my other videos, just let me know and I'll try and accommodate you. This is a hobby for me and I enjoy it thoroughly. So let's get to business. This is a Watkins Johnson 8737 and it's a dual receiving unit and display unit. And they were factory married. So this bottom one was separate from the top one. And then you see the plate that, and they're screwed together. So they came originally separately, but the factory married them together. And then in the back, let me show you real quick. There's insane cableage going between the two of them to inputs, outputs, so that they work with each other. Anyway, so this thing was made in the 1970s. And the cool thing about this one is it's new old stock, NOS, brand new. So when somebody got it, kept it in the box. The story I got was that it was a guy that worked for the government, found the government was gonna found a bunch that were never used. They were gonna surplus them, and the employees had first option at them. And this guy got several of them and just stuck them in a closet somewhere. And then 30, 40 years later, there you go, they're selling them. So this is a VHF UHF unit in 4 bands.
All right, 170 and...
I'll get a little closer so you can read some of the...
All right, turn right, 150, clear from visual, 172. I'm boy,
there. Okay. It's 4 bands from 20 megahertz to 1,000 megahertz. And then obviously you could see that whatever band you're in, these are tight. The light lights up. So I screwed my tune up. So, all right, let's talk about tuning while we're here. So notice we got a switch over here called AFC, off, and DAFC. I think that's digital AFC. Anyway, the frequency I'm looking for is 127.075. So I get as close as I can with the gross tuner, the big tuner. And then you can fine tune it with this one. And you get real close. And then when the signal comes on, you hit the DAFC and it locks it in. Usually it locks it in at 075 exactly. So let me try that again.
Regional approach envoy 4231 is 8,200 to 7,000.
Anyway, we're close enough. We're hearing them. But yeah, this is 1970s technology. So we're on the air band. So we're on AM. Narrow bandwidth. You can also, we'll try in a minute, you can do FM broadcast, but you got to go to the wide bandwidth, which is 100 kilohertz. We'll do that. We'll check that out in a second. It also has manual, where you can bypass the AGC and then you use the RF gain manually. So you've got AM manual. There's no FM manual. FM is only through the AGC. Yeah, I think you guys could read this stuff here. And this is the squelch. You adjust that, and then the light goes off when nothing's going on, and then the light pops on. I guess that's so that the guys don't have to watch these things all day until the bad guys start talking or sending signals, and then the light pops on. And then the light stays on for 5 or 7 seconds afterwards, so that the tape machines can keep rolling in case they start talking again. Anyway, so You've got your display up here. You got your intensity for the display. You could make it dimmer, brighter. Okay, set it up wherever you want. So through my camera lens, I see it pulsing, but in real life it's not. It's just fixed. And then these, well, this thing that's a spectrum scope, so that's always going to look a little bit weird. But this pulsing is not happening in real life, which is good if you watched my last radio video, because you know that I had a radio that kind of took a dump on me, and it was kind of doing that before it did. But no, this one's not. So let's zoom in on some of these spectrum controls. So spectrum scope from the 1970s is kind of a rare thing. I mean, no commercial radios had them. I think the first commercial radio was the ICOM 9000, and that really wasn't commercial, that had a spectrum scope, and that wasn't until like 1990. But anyway, so it works like or at least I've never had an oscilloscope or messed with one, but what I'm told is that this works like an oscilloscope, because you've got your vertical and horizontal. You know, vertical means you can move that thing up and down. I like to set it because my normal chair, I'm looking down at an angle, so I gotta adjust it so I can see the whole thing. And then I put that little Sharpie marker there to correspond with this center line, and then you twist this horizontal to line the signal up with whichever line you want. So I lined it up to be with the center line, and then when I'm looking at it at a glance, this Sharpie mark draws my eye to it. And then focus, you can actually focus this to be sharp to your eye. You can make it, it'll be blurry or whatever, so you can focus it in. The intensity is the brightness. The gain, all the way down, where you bring it up, where so you get that. And then I noticed from playing with the radio that you have to change the gain through the different bands, because like when I get up on the very top band, up in the super high frequencies up there, you got to add a lot of gain just to get any reading for the signals, if you can even find any up there. And then center frequency, this is like a fine adjust to make that the spike, the signal you're looking at, exactly on the line where you want it. And then these two things, I don't really know what these are yet. It says LIN, log. It does something like that. I don't know what the hell that is. And then this one says MKR. Maybe that's a marker. And then it says on, but doesn't really seem to do anything when I flip it. So I got a manual with it. I got all the original stuff with it. I got manuals that you put them together. They're literally 5 inches thick. And then I got this bag full of little parts and wires and cables and pins that I have no idea what the shit is. And it all shipped originally with this radio. But anyway, and then this is the meter, the scope width. So I've got it all the way over on max, which is about 3 megahertz. And then you can narrow it down. Maybe the guy will start talking again and you'll see what the signal looks like. This is the air band. They talk when they want to talk. They talk when they're overhead. There it goes.
Sorry. Approach Skywest 3156, 11.2, descending 7,000 with Juliet.
There we go. So, anyway, I've got a scanner antenna up in the attic that covers all these bands, and it works pretty good. And yeah, this thing it's really, really cool. I mean, I like the way that the light lights up to let you know which band you're on, and then this squelch light lights up when you adjust this, obviously. So you come in and you back it out a little bit so that you're not picking up static or anything from really weak signals from far away or anything. And the light lights up, so like I said, if you're on the other side of the room doing something and you hear the bad guys sending Morse code or something, you see the light light up and you can run back over there if you have to. I could just picture in my mind the dudes with the white shirts with the short sleeves and the skinny black ties and the black horn rimmed glasses. I could see them running around trying to adjust these things. And oh, so, okay, I don't know if you pay attention, but it's got a nice signal strength meter that's pretty sensitive. Let's see if they start talking again. Figures.
Approach American 2053 out 12,000 for 7,000.
And this is on-off audio. Intensity, I told you that was the brightness here. Phones, I got this out running to a powered speaker. Mounted up here. Video gain, I think that's for data. But I didn't even start reading the manuals or anything like that. This thing is heavy. This has to be 50 pounds, maybe more.
090, back to 190 on the speed, American 2927.
And again, this pulsing is not happening in real life. That's just a refresh rate glitch between the camera and the display there. But no, this thing's really cool. So let's tune around a little bit. So to tune, you got to take off the AFC. So you put it on off, and then you can tune it around. Well, since you got the spectrum scope, you could try to chase signals. So let's try to chase a couple, see what happens. So it looks like there's one. Well, figures as soon as I start turning, you lose them. Then again, this is the air band. So they stop as soon as I get there. Oh, all right, so let's go to 118, 425. I know that that's a normal one here. 425. That's like approach, so there should be something there.
120,
There he is. And if you want to lock it in, you can, I guess. But it seems to be working, so I'll just leave it alone. In case we want to tune this some more. And then there's a... See, that's 550 and that's 420. So yeah, there's several that are real close together. Anyway, you go crazy trying to chase these signals. But let's back off a little bit and switch it to, so you come up here, so that's the 235 to 500 megahertz, and I think that's the ham range. And if you wanted to, you could cruise around here and see if they're doing anything. So let's run the squelch up. But this is all that, I don't know what that is. It must be data or something because it's, oh, wait a minute. I got to put it on FM narrow. FM narrow, 20 bandwidth. Is that the right one? Yeah, you can hear all that weird stuff going on. I think the voice or even CW's down in the low 440s. But either I got a bad antenna or ain't nobody talking. Oh, sounds like Morse code. Thinking the 20 bandwidth, 20 kilohertz should be working here, but I don't know. I was messing with this yesterday and I caught some guys talking down in here. It was working fine, but again, so who knows? Maybe this isn't even the right time of day for this band. I really have no idea. So let's try another band. So I'm gonna switch to band 1, which is 20 megahertz to 90 megahertz, and we got to switch it to FM wide, and then this is FM 90.1 is a local radio station.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from Procter & Gamble, maker of Metamucil, a fiber supplement containing psyllium, a plant-based fiber for trapping and removing waste in the digestive system. Designed to be taken every day. More at metamucil.com. And from Workday, committed to helping organizations change. And prepare for whatever's next.
From an older demon to a younger demon about how to...
Life hits you out of nowhere and then it... You know, dumb confusion. Year after year, every holiday...
That's it. It's maxed out because it only goes up to 90 and I'm at 91 and a half, so this one's maxed out. If I want to go up above that, I have to go to the next band. So I just leave this on Talk Radio 90.1. I guess theoretically I could get CB on this thing because CB rate, the CB band is 27 megahertz or something like that, but the scanner antenna is not really the best antenna for that. So I'll just leave this first band on this Talk Radio.
Sometimes I worry, he says.
Second one, I could get the top end of the FM broadcast band, or I like to check out the air band. So 118, 425. Oh, you can also get weather 162, 400. I think that's what it is. It's 160 something.
Sunny, 96, northeast at 10.
So I had to put it on 20 kilohertz because at 100 it's just too wide.
Mostly sunny,
And
92,
at 4
southeast at 8. Denton, sunny, 94, east at 8.
and
Gusting
then
to
FM,
22.
but it's
Elsewhere around the
162,
region,
400.
Wichita Falls, mostly sunny, 100. Dew point 60. Relative humidity 26%. Heat index 100. Pressure 29.
Anything else up in here?
For the
PHMX 4435. The width of it is 8 foot 1 inch.
I don't know what this is.
The height is 18 feet.
This might be some kind of commercial
03
you know, like some guys that are working and then talking, you know, like maybe they fix stuff.
4545 MPH restricted car. And
IP address for that thing had changed because it switched ports, and I don't know why.
Maybe this is I don't know nothing about hams and stuff. Maybe this is another ham band. I thought there was one in the 140 range, 1 megahertz, so this might be hams.
But I was able to, thanks to YouTube, I went in and used
If you narrow down the scope.
one of the other open ports to the IP address and got it back on.
Yeah, I've had mine change IP addresses before with power outages.
Alright, so we're at 21 minutes now, so you guys are either asleep or you're digging this.
So I was looking for that, but that's why one of the reasons why
but that's it. I'll let you slide. And if Matt or anyone else wants to see a radio, a close-up, or see it run through a band scan or something, let me know and I'll try and accommodate you. Alright, thanks for hanging out.